In this video, we will see about the order of query execution and query writing order in SQL. For that, I have created a table called as brand underscore amount. Let us query the table and see the schema of the table. So we have year brand amount column in the brand underscore amount table, and the table tells us what is the sales achieved by each of the following brand in a particular year. The data consists of year from 2016 to 2020, and the brands which are part of the table are Apple, Samsung, Nokia, and OnePlus. And the amount is corresponding sales achieved by each of the brand in a particular year. Now we will write a query which consists of all the keywords like from, where, group by, having, order by, limit, or top. We will write a query which consists of all these keywords or clauses, and we'll understand what is the order of the query execution and the query writing order in SQL. For that, I have created one question. So when we answer this question, we will be able to use all the following keywords or clauses in SQL. The question is like, write a query to find the total sales achieved by each brand from the year 2017 to 2020. Then find the top two brands which are having a sum of amount, that is a sum of sales which is greater than 80,000. So let us start with the first part, that is write a query to find the total sales achieved by each brand from the year 2017 to 2020. So let us start with a select clause. So what we have to find here is the total sales achieved by each brand. So based on brand, we have to find the sum of amount, that is the sum of sales, as total sales. I am giving an alias name as total sales, and this is from the table brand underscore amount. I'm copying the table name. Then it is also given that the total sales achieved by each brand from the year 2017 to 2020. So we have to filter the data, since the data consists of year 2016 as well. See, here we have 2016 also, but we only want data from 2017 to 2020. So we have to filter the data, and we have to filter the brand amount table to find the data from only from 2017 to 2020. So after the from clause, we will write a where clause, where the column name is year. Either we can use year not equal to 2016, or we can use an in clause and put all these values inside the in, that is from 2017 to 2020. Actually, this is not required. Only thing we have to do is we have to put a not equal to clause, and we can simply put 2016 here. That also will work here, 2020. So the other alternative way is, see, instead of this in, we will write a not equal to 2016. This can be also applied here. So after this, since we are finding an aggregate, we will have to use a group by clause. So now we will use a group by clause. What is group by? Is group by amount, that is brand. Group by is brand, group by brand. So now we will be able to answer the first part of this question, that is write a query to find the total sales achieved by each brand from year 2017 to 2020. Now let us run the query and see what is the result. So now we got the result such that this is the total sales achieved by each of the following brand from the year 2017 to 2020. If we see the query, now in the query we have select, here we have from, then we have where clause, then we have group by clause. Now let us try to answer the second part of the question, that is find the top two brands which are having a sum of amount, that is sum of amount greater than 80,000. So in the final result, it should be like, it should have sum of amount only greater than 80,000. So we will have to use a having clause here. So where we will use having clause is after the group by clause, we will write a having clause, having sum of amount greater than, the condition is 80,000. Now we have a having clause which will give us all the sum of amount which is only greater than 80,000. Now if I run the query, this Nokia brand will be excluded from the result because that is not greater than 80,000. Now let us run the query and see what is the result. Now we have only Apple, OnePlus and Samsung which has a total sales of greater than 80,000. Also, it is given that we only want the top two brands from the result. So now this is in a sorted order, but sometimes the result will be near different order, such that Samsung will be coming top or OnePlus will be coming top. But that case we'll have to sort the result. For that, before using the top, we will use the order by clause. So after this having clause, we will use a order by clause and we will put the total sales inside that. Order by total sales in the descending order. That is, the highest value should come at the top. Now after this order by clause, after the select clause, we will have to put the top two clause as well, because we only want to find the top two brands which are having a sum of amount greater than 80,000. Now if I run the query, ideally the result should be like Apple and OnePlus with the corresponding value. Samsung should be excluded because we are only looking for the top two brands. Now I am running the query and let us see the result. Now we have Apple and OnePlus with the corresponding result. Now let us inspect this query and see or try to understand the query writing order and order of query execution. First we will write the query writing order from the following query. So we'll start with a select clause. So it is like we'll start with the select clause which is followed by the top. So there is syntax difference between the different databases which we are using. So we will have to make sure before using the top or limit keyword. So here we will use the top keyword after the select clause. Then after the top, we will take the from. That is, top will be followed by the from clause. From will be followed by the where clause. The where clause will be followed by the group by clause. Group by clause will be followed by having and finally order by. So this is the query writing order in SQL. Now this is different from the query execution order because query execution order is like, see what happens first within a query. That is what the query execution order tells us. So when we inspect the query, we can see that, see, the first thing which happens inside this query, see, this from clause will identify the table. So this is the first thing that is going to happen when we are going to run a query. So it begins with from. Then after from, what happens is, see, it will filter the entire data. See, only after filtering, the query will be doing aggregation or whatever operations we are going to do on the measure table or the dimension table. Sorry, the dimension or measure column. It will only happen after the entire data is filtered. So after the from clause, what happens will be the where clause. That is, where clause is filtering the data. See, whichever command is coming inside the where clause will be completed before doing any other operation. So we'll start with the from, and using the where we will filter the data from the table which is followed by the from clause. So after this from, the execution order is for where, and after the where clause, if we are, see, we already know that now we are going to do an aggregate of the amount, so that definitely we have an aggregate coming up in our query. So after the from and where clause, what should be followed or what will happen is the group by. So the group by will be happening after the where clause. So after the where clause, it will be followed by the group by. Group by clause. So group by will be happening third. If we have a table and having a column with multiple values, if we do a group by and having an aggregate function in the query, the group by will be taking only the distinct values from the particular column. So if we have one more condition such that the aggregate is or aggregate should be a value which should be greater than a particular value or less than a particular value, then the next thing which is going to happen is we will filter the query based on the aggregate. So for that we will be using the having clause. So after the group by, we will use the having clause to filter the aggregated result. So after using the having clause comes the select clause. So after having, select clause is executed. So after the execution of select clause, we have the result. We have a particular result in the table. Now what we are going to do is we are going to order the particular result, or now we have the result and we want to order the result. Then what is going to happen is the ordering. For that we will use the order by clause. After the select clause, order by execution will happen. Then finally we have to use the top or limit clause. Then finally what will happen is top or limit. If we have joins and all, joins also will be run with the from clause. After that only where clause will happen. So joins and all will come with the from clause only. So I'm writing here join also. Join also will happen along with the from. So we have from, which is followed by where clause. Then group by will happen. Then having for filtering the aggregated result. Then we have the select clause. Then followed by order by, and finally we can select the top particular results from the final result. If you like the video, please subscribe and like. Thank you.